Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin today with massive news out of British Columbia as a major settlement has been announced by the federal government. Ottawa says it's a $2.8 billion agreement settling a class action lawsuit brought forward by BC First Nations. It involves 325 First Nations that opted into the lawsuit, seeking reparations for the loss of language and culture brought on by residential schools. Thunder Bay Superior North MP Patty Haidu, who's also the Indigenous Services Minister, spoke to the announcement while attending a local event today.
It's a really important settlement because obviously through the residential experience and other aspects of colonization, people lost their languages and they lost their cultural practices. And many times I hear from First Nations leaders that in fact restoring language and culture is a huge component of healing and moving forward. So this is good news.
Both parties will still have to go through the federal court next month to seek official approval. And Thunder Bay Fire Rescue responded this morning to a house fire on the 300 block of Amelia Street East, caused by an unattended candle. Tackling the blaze that sparked in a bedroom, firefighters arrived to find heavy smoke coming from a window at the rear side of the structure. The bedroom sustained serious fire damage, with a total of 1 pumper rescue truck, 5 pumper trucks, and 1 aerial ladder truck responding. All occupants of the home were located safely, with no injuries to report. A few top city leaders will be in Toronto tomorrow for day 1 of the Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference. It gives them the opportunity to speak to provincial ministers and push for important changes in our region. Boschkov will be attending, joined by West Fork Councillor and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee Chair Kristen Oliver and at-large Councillor Shelby Chung. Boschkov explained some of the regional concerns he looks to get across during his time at the conference.
Our goal is to touch the bases that affect Thunder Bay the most. That is our regional problems that we have now of trying to service so many people coming into the city. The emergency services, the pressure on all the policing and special teams that are affecting our healthcare.
The first things we do plan to address when we're there is having our meeting with Minister Tabolo to talk about the crisis center that we're looking for Thunder Bay, and it's to support people that are having mental health crisis and those in addictions. We're looking to see a 24-hour program where people can walk in and receive the services that they need when they need it. As we identified yesterday here at Council, it's certainly a very huge concern for all of us.
The Roma conference will conclude on Tuesday. Of course, it won't be just Thunder Bay representatives at the NOMA conference, as Nipigon Mayor Suzanne Kuko will be attending, with addressing highway maintenance as a priority.
We all know that the Highway 1117 has not seen the optimal maintenance that we'd like to see for the winter. So we'll be making sure that that the ministry hears our opinion about that, and we just want to know what's being done to make sure that that the contractor that they've hired to do that is being made accountable and reaching the criteria that the province has set out.
Kuko also wants to see snow clearing standards on 1117 raised to the level of a 400 series highway, and she expects that she won't be the only mayor raising that issue at Roma. She also wants to address the question of bail reform with the Solicitor General, saying that repeat offenders are an issue even in smaller towns like Nipigon.
Think a little bit more carefully about when someone's being let out on bail or parole, if they do have a real violent history of convictions, that they should not be let out on bail or out on parole. And if they are let out, then they should have an ankle bracelet so that the police know where these people are at all times.
And lastly, Kuko will be asking for close to $1 million to support the expansion of a seniors housing project in Nipigon. Further down the North Shore, Schreiber Mayor Kevin Mullins will be at Roma, focusing on a couple of major infrastructure projects. Terrace Bay Mayor Paul Malashouki will be looking for action on a long-awaited service station and will be making an appeal to the Ministry of Health to keep an EMS station in his community. Various local mental health services and supports were brought together today for Kelly Mental Health's second annual Mental Health Matters event, with a goal to bring awareness to the ongoing crisis and shed light on the disconnect in Thunder Bay. Jessica Clement has the details.
People still to this day feel like mental illness is other people. People still to this day feel like addiction is other people, but it's not. It's us. In the right set of circumstances, it could be any one of us.
The event was put on by Kelly Mental Health, who said they wanted to do more for the community other than simply providing individual counseling sessions. About a dozen organizations came out to talk to those in attendance and provide information about the supports and services that are available. The event also gave the various organizations a chance to connect with each other and talk about the ways they can fill the gaps in mental health services. Linda Kelly, CEO of Kelly Mental Health, says she sees a disconnect in the city, and part of that has to do with how the healthcare system is set up.
We have a split sometimes between public and private. There isn't enough room in the public system to accommodate all the private practitioners that are here. People can't often afford private services, and there's still a stigma around seeking mental health services. There's still this feeling that only people that are really sick should go and get the help, but it doesn't have to be that way.
A number of guest speakers were there to talk about the different skills and strategies that can be used to help out yourself or the people around you. Carolyn Carl, founder of the DEC Foundation, was one of the speakers. She says she wanted to talk to people about the mental health crisis the city is facing and the need for accessible resources.
I think we all need to get connected and learn. I've been here for an hour and I've already learned so many things this morning. I'm reaching out to the different organizations here and understanding more and more of what they do and what they offer in the city, and it's incredible. I'm learning so much. It's just wonderful.
Kelly adds that having an event like Mental Health Matters is important.
We all tend to work in silos, and sometimes we forget that there are others that are willing to help and have resources that we don't know about. So the importance of having this periodically is to come together and remind everybody, here's the programs that are running, here's how we get in, these are the wait lists. Just the knowledge, the education, and again, just come together to collaborate.
Those who weren't able to attend can find more information about resources and supports on Kelly Mental Health's website and social media pages. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
The Thunder Bay Horticultural Society celebrated a huge milestone today. The group held a party at the Oliver Road Community Center for their 100th year anniversary. Over 30 members and residents came to the event, which featured speeches from Mayor Ken Boshkov and MPs Patty Hajdu and Marcus Pulowski. The event showcased multiple display boards with pictures and articles of the society over the years. Numerous activities and snacks were also available to help attendees celebrate the occasion. Horticulture Society President Vicky Bureau says the group has accomplished a lot during the century.
I think back in the 30s or 40s, there was something with the city of Port Arthur for beautification awards. That is still continued on through the Garden Beautification Awards that we still present now. We have plantings at some of the seniors' homes, Magnus Theatre we take care of, Thunder Bay Auditorium, and the pollinator garden at the conservatory.
And finally, Lake of the Woods is well known as a beautiful summer destination. But one local entrepreneur is hoping to get people out and enjoying the lake in the winter months as well, with her new ice bike rental company. Lee Noonan has this story.
Vic Moss is the brains behind Mosswood Adventures and Rentals, and the ice bikes are a first venture for the Kenora newcomer.
My husband got a job here kind of mid-pandemic, so we came out here, and honestly the last year and a bit has just been me trying to find my purpose and passion, and introductory adventures and rentals were just where it was for me, so I'm excited to start.
Moss can accommodate up to 10 riders at a time with her fleet of 8 ice bikes. The 3 different models of bike are appropriate for adults and children roughly 8 and up, with room on some models for the little ones to hitch a ride.
This baby can glide through the snow, as you can see. There's skis in the front, fat tire in the back, and you can kind of go on the ice and have fun on that.
Ice bike rentals can be booked online through the Mosswood website. Most of the time, Moss will be based right on the lake near the Hardwater Cafe, but she's also planning pop-up events at locations all around the area.
I know that the families and folks here are always looking for things to do. So really, all ages, it's meant to get families and folks out and try something new on the ice.
Check out at Mosswood.adventures on all your social media for the most recent locations and how to rent one of these bikes. It's a fun time. I'm Lee Noonan, TVT News.
Look at her go, eh, Kurt? She looks like she's having fun out there. Do you know who else was having fun? Anyone who went to that Thunderbolts game last night?
Yeah, as someone that was in the building for last night's game, I've seen a lot of hockey. Yeah, I had never seen anything like what happened at the Gardens last night. We'll have those highlights and much more right after the break.